So the first part of my shift today consists of me coming up here to the top of the road. We call it the top of the road. What it is Sharsden Roundabout bus stop, Leastone Road, right there. And the driver's going to be coming with the 103, and I'm just going to swap over and continue the 103 into Piccadilly, then back out of Piccadilly to the airport, then back to Piccadilly from the airport, and then from Piccadilly I'll come out as a 101. So I'll see how it goes. Apparently it's going to be busy tonight because Man City's at home, so we'll have to see about that. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for this bus now. It should be here it should be here in about 5 minutes. This bus is already 10 minutes late. Before I've even took over it and started my shift, I'm already 10 minutes behind. I've not even got it to load onto the ticket machine and get in and settle in and sign onto everything and drive off. So I'm looking at a big delay before I've even started my shift, basically. Here it is now. Actually, this is it.
This can take time as well, just adjusting your seats.
Here we go. Now I am 12 minutes late. That sometimes can happen, where you get the bus, the driver's late because of whatever reason. You take the bus over, which now puts you late. The ticket machine says I'm 13 minutes late. I had to shut the bus down and then restart it because I have to adjust the steering column, because obviously the last driver was sat basically really low. The steering column was really low and it just wasn't to how I drive. Apparently the gas lady's out and about. Yeah, so this is a woman that gets on your bus and basically sucks the gas out of gas canisters. I don't know how people take gas, but that's what happens. And once she's on the bus, she will not get off it. It is so hard to get her off the bus. I've never had her on mine, and hopefully I don't get her on mine, but it just got a message then saying be aware. Like, apparently she assaulted a passenger on, I think, on the 43 or something, so it's not causing issues. Anyway, now I am moving up here where I join Princess Parkway and come full circle with the 101. I'm going to have to pull up at the next bus stop to check that I've got 103 wrote on the bus. I'll pull up at this bus stop actually and check. I'm going to have to shut the bus down and restart it because there's no numbers on the bus on the front, and that's not good. And if there's no numbers on the bus, how are people going to call for the bus? I'm so late, it's unreal. I already started late, which is ruthless. Now we can go. Now we're moving again. It's just crazy. There are two buses up here. One of them's the 101, which is why I've not been picking anyone up on the Parkway, which has actually saved me a little bit of time. And the other one in front of it, I think, is another 101. Wow, these are jumbled up, these. So one of them's on time and one of them's really late, like me. But having them two in front of me will essentially save me some time here. Just will, because they've both stopped at that bus stop, which means I can get past and potentially serve the last bus stop before the Heineken Brewery, if anyone's at it. This is a tricky bus stop up here at the Heineken Brewery because you have to come across basically 3 lanes after serving it. And nobody's at it, so I can indicate into this lane that I need to be in, basically. You have to serve that bus stop there, then you basically have to come right over into this lane and then move over into the right hand lane opposite. Which, when you're in a bus, that can be tricky when nobody wants to let you in or give you any space. Look at that building there, Kimpton Clock Tower. I said about in my last video about the architecture in some of the old buildings. That has got some detail on it. Something you only notice when you sat looking at it. It seems like 1,000 times, but that is a nice building. Anyway, we turn on here now to Oxford Street. one thing you hear a lot of is sirens, emergency services. And it's always hard distinguishing where they're coming from, checking your mirrors or your cameras. There's nothing much I can do in a bus apart from stop anyway. Yeah, there they are. That happens a lot. Right, it looks like I'm going to arrive in town about 8 minutes late. I'm going to arrive into Piccadilly Gardens at the same time I should be leaving Piccadilly Gardens. So I'm going to prepare my numbers now and put the 103 up to Manchester Airport so people can see it, and I'm going to start the next trip straight away. Where is this? I'm not in like such a huge deficit that's, you know, bad being late. I'm only like 5 minutes late, but it just goes to show how much of a bad start it can have on you, and it can impact on you, because getting the bus as late as I got it has just kept me chasing my tail the whole time. I got into Manchester Airport at the time I should have been leaving, and I could have left there a couple of minutes earlier, but I needed to go toilet. So I ended up leaving there like 5-6 minutes late, but I had to go toilet. Now if I would have had the layover time that was originally assigned without it being took up by being late, I would have left there on time. Just got back to the depot. I've got half an hour break basically before I've got to go back out, and I've got some lunch that I am dying to eat. Got some sandwiches. I can't know what my missus made me. Bag of apples, protein pudding, a fruit, a little note again, and 2 of them. I've already had some of my stuff out of it though. I ended up getting back here 8 minutes late, so it was just a story of being late, wasn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna grub this up, watch a bit of YouTube and chill out. I'm on my way out the depot for the second time today. I've got to go to Chorlton bus station and do the 86, which is diverted, but I know the diversion. It's basically the 85 route until you come back onto Loretto College, and then you resume the 86 route, because Upper Chorlton Road is closed, so there's no really other way around it for us. Sensible way is this way. So that last trip, you know, I like this. This is in my own power. This when I'm setting off from the depot and I'm leaving off my own time, I'm on my own time. So I'm leaving the depot on time, I'm going to get to the Chorlton bus station on time, I'm going to start the service on time. But when you are swapping with another driver, that can be hard, that, especially when you're swapping a service like the 43 or the 103, because they're busy at times, and if you take over it like I did, 13 minutes late, you know, you're basically pissing into the wind if you want to keep that on time, especially when your layover time when you get to Piccadilly is like 6 to 7 minutes before you've got to set back off again. You've got to get all the passengers off and be reloaded in 6 to 7 minutes. And if you're already 10 minutes late or whatnot, you know, good luck doing that. And most of the people that board the 101 and the 103 They're not particular minded what bus they get, the 101 or the 103, because a lot of them get off on the Parkway, in Moss Side, on the Parkway and down towards the Britannia Hotel, so they can essentially just get whatever bus comes first, so there's no particular person waiting for any particular bus at them stops. It's just whoever shows up first, and if the 101's behind you and you happen to be the 103 and you go onto the stand, you're getting every single person off that stand, more or less, who's going that way. And there's a lot of people that basically, you know, board just to Moss Side and things like that. So you can be stuck in Piccadilly for a long time loading passengers on, is what I'm saying. Anyway, enough of that. I've got 3 hours worth of driving to do now, so it'll be eventful to see how this trip plays out. I mean, I wasn't recording before, but someone cut me up, almost fucking nearly crashed into the bus. Like, they come from the outside lane right round me to turn, instead of just waiting. I'll pick this service up once I get to Cholton bus station and I start the service, hopefully on time. So the diversion of the 86 is like a hybrid of the 85. I like it. So we're doing a right here down Wilbraham Road, and we go straight ahead and do a left up Alexandra Road South. Only buses can do a right here. Only buses. This is a bit of a mad corner to turn. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. And taxis as well. Taxis. Listen, nothing against taxi drivers. Taxi drivers are the most unpredictable of drivers that I have noticed on the road. You know when you see a moth or a butterfly and it has no rhythm when it's flying, it'll just dot about and go anywhere, where a bird or a snook or like a fly, you know what I mean? There's no direct line. Taxis are the same. They don't have no direct line. They'll just pull in front of you and then pull in. People are going to get confused, me coming up this road, that are not clued up with the diversion. They're going to think, why is an 86 coming up here? I'm not sure how this route's going to affect the first timing point, because the first timing point is at Brooks Bar and we won't be at Brooks Bar. Another thing that I've noticed about nighttime driving is the later it gets, the more brazen people are about how daft the driving that they want to do. So you'll be driving and they'll just stop in the middle of the road and then start reverse parking into a spot. Like this guy here, look at this guy here. Look at this is just, they're just running across into the road. The hazard lights, like hazard lights are the automatic, it's okay, you can just throw your car anywhere. That was a taxi driver, by the way. I told you about the taxi drivers. This is ruthless, this. Look at this here, what I'm faced with. I've got a bus stopping me from coming in, and I have this here, and I'm only going for it. Absolutely ruthless. Fucking got through it and all. People don't care. Park your stuff anywhere. Well, that's a late shift done and dusted. Now it's home time. Well, there's nothing left of home time. It's 20 to 1 in the morning. So what little time I have left is just going to be going in and getting my head down and going to sleep. Then when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be running 10 miles. But nice shift. I've had a couple of questions on the videos about how hard or easy is it to learn the routes, etc. And it's not that hard. Obviously, depending on the depot you go to, depending on the volume of routes you've got to learn, and you will learn them. And a lot of them kind of intertwine with each other and meet up at some point. So there's only a certain section of a route you have to learn until it joins into a route what you already know anyway, if it makes sense. But when you pass your test and you go to your depot, you do route learning for a couple of weeks, and then you get put with a mentor for a couple of weeks where you're actually driving the bus, and the mentor is shadowing you, just showing you the ropes, so to speak, about how to navigate through the job and what to do and the procedures to follow in the morning and whatnot. And during the course of that month or whatever it is, 2 weeks route learning and 2 weeks with your mentor, you cover a lot of the routes, if not all of the routes, like I said, depending on the size of how many routes your depot has. But they're not that complicated. I honestly could not see myself doing this job. I signed up for it as I would say a bit of a laugh, but like a joke. I was on the way back from the car wash, I seen it advertised on the bus, the back of a bus, so I just applied, and before I knew it, I was in Hyde Road having an interview, then I was going for my medical, and then I was driving a bus down Hyde Road, and it just happened so fast, it just snowballed. You know, work wasn't going well in the building game, the money was okay, but without the work, the money's no good, because there's no money without the work, and the work was going a bit scarce. And within the building game, a lot of the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So you can be one of the best workers out there, but if you've not got the right connections, or someone else has better connections, doesn't matter if they necessarily don't have to be a better worker than you, they just get the jobs. So work was going a little bit crap at that particular period of time, and I was looking for something a little bit more stable and secure. And now here I am. You know, on the training bus, there was two lads on the training bus, Omar and Mark, and Omar would ask me, how, you know, what can you see yourself doing it? And I'd say, Omar, I can't see myself sticking this out at all. And now here I am. I'm into my second year, and I'm loving it. But you know, I come from a job that was really, really hard work. So when a lot of the people tell me how hard in this job, and you know, oh, people don't last a year, people don't last 6 months, to me it means nothing, because I've been in a job where people don't last a day with the physical work and stuff. So this job, it's a lot mental. If you can deal with it and you can deal with the public, you're fine. Anyway, that's a good late shift done. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.